we said recording in progress. Hello and welcome to I guess this is season one, episode two of our podcast, videocast, Beyond the
Yeah,
Veil.
Jinx.
So yeah, today we're gonna discuss well, I guess it's on you. You're gonna tell us about your experiences, I guess you could say. So Moon, I'll leave it to if you wanna first of all, I'm Tengu. And that's Thrive. It's one of the sides. I'm not entirely sure which way the camera looks, but
So last episode we talked about Tengu and his paranormal experiences and what got him into pretty much where we are now, like everything that's led up to this point, um, and how we clash together. Like so, we usually say paranormal and aliens come together, and like it meant well. So he gave a few experiences that he had,
hmm.
and I wanted to go through some really tricky stuff. And I want to say, um, like this can be just for like for your purposes, whatever they say, entertainment purposes.
Entertainment purposes, yeah.
Feel free to believe what you want, but these things, they're they're memories like that are tied to a lot of emotions. So there's stuff that I'll never forget. You know. So uh, last episode we were talking about 20 and backs. The whole thing about like the aliens is I don't know if this is a fact for myself, but
Hmm.
evidence could lead to this. And we talk about time and space not being um it's time and space is like the same thing and everything is happening now.
It's interesting you say that because Russia and, if I'm not mistaken, Antarctica are like a short distance between each other. And Antarctica is 2 days ahead of Russia. And it's just like it's such a weird kind of thing.
That time and distance, it's so crazy to think of that. Like it always takes an amount of time to travel a distance, and you can't do that unless you're going through a portal. You can't do that simultaneously and stay in the same time without you have to travel that distance. And then it's going to take that time to get there. But you're talking about time zones, I think. But
Yeah, it was just weird when I seen that. It makes you think, well, it's really irrelevant. I mean, if
yeah,
that's 2 days, it's 2 days ahead or behind or something like that. It's just
mm,
so like then time doesn't really mean shit.
yeah,
If they're basically it's just I guess it's a time zone. It's like it's where I am. It's like after midnight where you are. It's the evening.
yeah. It's 7:27 p.m.
Mhm.
And that's crazy. So like now that we're like on the same topic of time, think of since time is not linear and it doesn't go like backward and forward like people think it goes in a straight lines. I don't think space does either. So everything is happening now, and pretty much everything, all space is right here. So the thing about 20 and backs that I wanted to mention last time is their secret space programs. This can go into some you may have heard of MK Ultra that stems from Stranger Things, the Montauk experiments, where they did experiments with LSD on soldiers and a lot of other types of things. But
Oh
there is
yeah.
black budget projects, like so many of them compartmentalized. And there's um, something that really grabbed my attention that I'm learning about recently, and it's whenever you are very young, pretty much like people can watch you for a long time, especially throughout lineages um, in genetics. So 20 and back is pretty much they take you in the middle of the night or at any time of the day, like when
I don't quite understand what they are. I haven't really heard of it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I like drew a blank, but I always draw blanks when it comes to this. But yeah, so you pretty much serve 20 years outside of time in a parallel dimension. They pick you up and take you usually like at a very young age. So they pretty much abduct you. You spend 20 years in this program, and some people can go back and spend even more, like 20 more years, and it has to be a specific amount of time because of the way their technology and cloning and the transfers of consciousness works. So, so you're spending 20 years on a different planet. You could like have a whole other family. There's whistleblowers who know they have like children on other planets that are hybrids and stuff like that. You'll just have to find this stuff if you're really interested. But like, there's people on our planet who are not just soldiers but space soldiers, and I think that is fucking insane. And it's really sad because they don't get a lot of credit, except now because their Indian A's are running out, so they can talk about it. But the reason why I mentioned the 20 and back is because aliens have always like been a thing in my life. I don't.
Okay.
I hard to remember a time, not just aliens, just like anything extraterrestrial or I guess that is alien, but like advanced technology and everything like that. So one thing I want to mention, one of my first experiences ever with something paranormal or alien, and I can't go into a lot of detail because it's honestly think it's something I don't think I should be able to remember. But I remember one specific thing, and I've always only been able to remember that like one thing, and then it's like an image, and it's been burnt into me. And you can recall memories, and you think of more. There's nothing more there, but I know what happened. So I wrote down a few things because this might have something to do with it. So I live in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and my first house. I don't know around what age I had to have been. I'm 30 years old now, but I remember it's when my mom got cable and SpongeBob had just released. It was maybe a year or just beginning of SpongeBob, but I just know that's when this experience happened to me. So in my mom's room, she had one of those big fat TVs, and it sat on,
A a CRTV. The
yeah,
big
like
ones, yeah, old school CRTV, which is kind of glass.
yeah, you have to think this is like 1999,
Oh
or
yeah,
it was
CRTV, yeah. Whoa, yeah.
yeah. So um, I don't know how I stumbled upon this, but this is what I remember, and it's been burned into me. So I don't know what I was doing, but there was a time where, for some reason, I went behind the TV, and I ended up somewhere else. And what I can picture, what I could tell you what it was, like, well, I can't really tell you what it was, but it was definitely a different, like, dimension because it was not inside. Like, it was like walking into Narnia, but it was literally behind the TV. And I don't know if cable has anything to do with that, the introduction to cable and portals or something like that. But I believe it was a portal. And I never talked about. I've only told 1% about this, so I haven't talked about it a lot. But I think it solidified my beliefs at a very young age, even though I could not explain it. I knew something happened. But what I can picture is like it was, a filter. You know how you can take a picture and go through filters, and they have certain names. There's one called sepia, or
Oh, that's kind of a brownie, kind of
yeah,
brownie blackish, kind of.
yeah. It's like a
Old Western.
rusty, yeah, filter used for like old, but that's how I can explain what I remember this place looking like. It was that color. Um,
Wow.
and I remember because I don't know how many times I went in there. I think maybe two times because I don't think it was just one time because there was a time I sought out the portal a few times and it just worked. But the thing I noticed, and I can't remember anything that happened inside the portal except like the environment, what it looked like. It was a set. It looked like I had a filter over. And I think like I might have felt a little high when I was there. That's kind of why too I was excited when I came back. But the thing is, whenever I entered the portal, I don't know how long I was in there. I don't know how long, like what I did. But whenever I came back, I knew I had just come back from something. It was like waking up from a dream, and everything was just as if I just went behind the TV. And I ran up to my mom and I was like, "Mom, are you looking for me and stuff?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And everything like that. And I was just like, "Okay." I wasn't gonna explain. I just like understood something happened. Even at whatever age I was like,
Did
"Look."
it did it feel like you were there long?
I think I spent a yes, like maybe I'm getting emotional because I just don't know, but
Hmm.
because I feel like so strongly and it solidified. Like kids like have experiences, but of course the veil is so much thinner at that age. But like
That's
I
true.
feel like, especially because I only have like a visual picture in my head. There has to be something like I don't know what went
Hmm.
on there. It um I think I spent time in there in like I had I'm not gonna say another family, not
Hmm.
like I married someone but I feel like I lived like a Narnia life, literally. Like and it's
An
something crazy,
alternative.
huh?
An alternative universe. It's kind of like whereas Einstein believed in the multiverse and alternative, so there is technically different versions of us in these different places that could be very different. Like we could be not like could be very different people, and it's just fascinating stuff and really brain would just blow your mind if you because it's so hard to kind of comprehend.
It is, but that's one thing that 20 and backs can explain because you're saying how we can be living a lot of life simultaneously. That's how we think of like multiverses. Well, whenever you do a 20 and back, and this is where I thought it's like I researched this a few years ago, and somebody told me I probably maybe entered a fairy realm because fairy realms
Oh.
or portals happen the same, but like I just felt maybe it could have been, but maybe it was something more. But whenever I heard these
Or
people talking about them serving time, these 20 backs, like I very well, and this is just like speculation because of like what the image I remember and what I've heard, I could have very well been on Mars.
it's in Japan they have a thing called kamikakushi or spirited away, which means kids would go to these places. Now, a lot of the time they don't come back, and it's like a fairy realm. And it's weird because Japanese beliefs believe in an alternative kind of world, which a spirit. There's a movie called Spirited Away, which is really interesting cartoon, but it's a very good movie.
Yeah, that's his thing. I've been watching this one guy, his name's Sean Bond, and a few other people he's connected to, and they're sharing their experience and starting to remember stuff in these 20 and backs. And the thing about that is because time is not linear and everything is happening now, they are also living that life on that planet at the same exact time. So um, memories are starting to unlock because it comes in cycles. And the one thing that was very like really in everybody's stories, they take them at a like I don't even know what age, but I just know like when you turn 30, so I guess it would be like about 10 years old, like 9, 10, 11,
Hmm.
maybe a little bit before that, they take you. And then I felt like I just started to resonate with a lot of the things that they were saying. And it's crazy because like a lot of these people um, are become targeted individuals because the way time travel works, I mean, everything's confusing and I'm still trying to understand it, but they do not, um, they pretty much transfer. to get you back into time because they have to. You spend 20 years out, but then they have to take you back to where they took you from in the first place 20 years ago. To put you back into that timeline, and that's how you live this whole other, and then you go back in time, and what it pretty much they clone the body, and there's ways, different types of cloning. Dolly the Lamb was first, like, and even before that, it's written in scripture. So if people, I don't know how people still don't believe in that, but they clone the body, and they can literally use spit. Like, you don't need a lot to clone.
DNA. Yeah.
They do that, and then they do a consciousness transfer into that body, and then they go back and place you within a 15-minute span, so nobody knows you're missing or nobody like suspects anything. And then even then, I don't know if you've ever had this feeling, but someone described it, and I've had this experience too, especially recently, going to sleep and feeling like I lived a whole fucking life in a dream, and then I woke up like, damn, that was a long dream. Like,
I,
you know,
I I don't really remember much of my dreams, which is crazy, except for I think I told you about that one that creeped me out only recently. That
yeah,
was crazy.
yeah, that's insane. See the one with Nicks and stuff. Like, I feel like you've been having more dreams too.
Yeah, I just can't really remember a lot of them. I don't know. I've never seemed to be able to remember them, and when I do, it's like I know there was that one I said where I was kind of in the dream, but I was aware. This doesn't always happen. It's the lucid dreaming, and
Mm-hmm.
I rarely lucid dream, but I was aware I was in this dream, and there was another version of me, and it was evil, and it kind of tried to grab me and pull me. I then I woke up. It was just, but it was so kind of. I knew it was a dream, and it kind of knew that I knew it was a dream, and I don't know what it was trying to do, and I kind of woke up, and that kind of was a very weird experience.
Yeah, I've heard like Jason Shirka talk about, and I've never done this. Like when you're running, well, I've actually turned around. Even recently, I'll get aggressive whenever I start to just get over shit, like in my life. My scary dreams don't get scary anymore because I turn into the monster. So, like, in one of my most recent dreams, I was running away from this thing, and in the dream, like, I'm realizing I'm dreaming, and I'm like, this is fucking annoying. And I just turn around and I grab it ended up being like a sack boy, which was really weird. But it wasn't like a cute sack boy. It was just like off of like the planet. I don't even know that one video game,
Oh,
but
I
they
know
had.
the game. Yeah, I know the game.
But this dude talks about if you're running from something in your dream, try to turn around because usually what you're running from is yourself. And I've never experienced that, but I think it's really interesting how that correlates with your dream. And I do feel like dreams are messages, and I have beat a lot of because we're not just having a physical war here. We're having a spiritual war. When we're sleeping, we go somewhere else. Literally, I know we do. Like, even if you don't remember it and everything like that. Like, so even just being able to, the fact that you're able to remember that dream, like I said, because some things correlate well, like cognitive psychology. If you can attach so much an emotion to a memory, you're going to be able to remember it better than any other, even a good memory. Like even
Yeah,
like if it depends on how that makes you feel, and of course that shit was like holy crap. So
dreams are interesting. This 20 and back thing, I don't really, I've never experienced it, so I don't know how. I've heard other podcasts talk about it, and it's fascinating. But it's so hard. I don't. It's just my brain is just like an explosion of I don't quite. It confuses me. But weirdly enough, dreams. I am no lately now. My dreams, I'm kind of being remembering more of them, and this is weird because I go back to when we started ages ago. We started talking about Nyx and her kids, which is Hypnos, who's the god of dreams.
bro, yes.
And that's what's like, and because I kind of
Letter.
attuned more to, that's why this whole podcast, I said it in the last episode, is named Beyond the Veil, because I think she has kind of opened it a little bit, but like I always look at it every time I speak with Nix, and I know I've spoken to her before. She doesn't come down and fix everything for you. She just kind of gives you a little bit of salt, and you do the rest.
Yeah, it's up for like I uploaded a cool picture and I think I don't know if it was a painting from Leonardo da Vinci or not, but it's I think God whatever depicted in a cloud and then him and Adam maybe.
Oh yeah.
Somebody said if you look at their fingers, God has his finger fully extended out, but Adam's is like this,
Yeah, I
and
seen that painting.
what it means is like I Nyx is always there to meet you, but it's up to you to extend that and actually meet her. She's always like this, and you're just like this.
That's really interesting. That's a very good concept. So
Yeah,
this Sapia kind of world, have you had more kind of experiences similar?
of the portal.
Yeah.
Um, no, I like I said, I don't believe it was just one time I went in. I believe it was at least two, but I
Hmm.
spent a lot of time there. So like, but after that, it was really emotional because it's
Yeah.
just it's literally like Narnia. Like whenever I got a certain age and I went behind the TV. I remember like go behind the TV and was like, "What? Why aren't you accepting me?" I don't know. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
I can't get it anymore, and it sucked, but it
Hmm.
was it was amazing. I love how I remember that, and I never really think about how it did like really solidify like my
Hmm.
beliefs in something beyond me that I cannot explain.
It is really, I've never experienced anything like that now. I can't. Well, no, actually, I didn't experience anything like that, but I do remember I was on holidays a good few years ago back in Italy with my girlfriend, and we went on this boat near Mount Etna. So Mount Etna is a live volcano in Italy. It's a beautiful volcano, really nice, very beautiful, very beautiful. I sound like Donald Trump saying it's very beautiful, very beautiful. But it's a really nice. And we went on this boat, and it had a specific name. Now I can't remember the ship's name, but. Yeah. So what happened is we went on the boat and we went to this really nice place and the volcano was kind of partly erupting. And it always kind of partly erupts. It never really does a massive explosion. So that's what's fascinating. So then we got off at a little island and that was really nice. We had a nice little trip there. And on the way back, we got onto the boat, which was the same name, and I fact checked this to make sure there wasn't two boats with the same name. There wasn't. So we got onto this boat, and this whole thing was it's so unusual. The boat was going, but there was a lot of people on the boat which we didn't recognize. Like, because we were like, I was thinking, I was saying to my girlfriend, I was saying like, geez, they don't look like the same people that were on the boat the last time. And she's, yeah, I know. It's strange, isn't it? It's so weird. And then all of a sudden we looked out the window and Mount Etna was a lot more explosive, like much bigger explosive. And then I had this mad kind of, I used to write and I never finished my stories, which is a shame. And then I had this kind of vision of, oh, writing one of my stories. And I started writing down some notes of the story. And it was about this kind of octopus demon creature coming out of the volcano. I can't remember what the story was. So then we got back to the shore where we were staying, and there was no other boats there. And it was so unusual and strange. I was like, where's the boats? And everyone was getting off, and the whole place was empty. And there was no one there.
Did
All
it
the
feel
people got off.
the air like? Did you feel an energy change too? Like
It
no type
just, it just was different. It just didn't feel like the same. Something didn't
feel.
feel right. And then we went to this local bar, which was up the road. And we were saying, oh, we're waiting for our tour bus. Our tour bus didn't arrive and all that. And the girl in the bar was really nice, and she had really good English for an Italian lady. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. And she was actually going to offer to get her brother to give us a lift back to the hotel. And I said, no, no, let's go back out and see if the tour bus is showing up. And then we went back out, and there's a boat pulling in. It was the boat that we went on originally, with the name the same as the one that was there. And it was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, I love this story. I just watched Deja Vu with Denzel Washington for the first time in a long time, and time slip, like a time
That's
slip loop back into.
it. I'm pretty sure that was. I'm 100% sure it was a time slip, and my girlfriend doesn't believe in any of these things, but she kind of
She,
hardly believed.
I remember you telling me like she also, and that solidified it too. Like when you said this feels off, and she agreed, even if she doesn't.
Yeah,
If there's no denying that feel or a feeling of something being
it,
off.
the craziest thing about this is because I checked that whole kind of logs and stuff like that. I think it was Saint Louisa was like the ship's name or something like that. And there was only, they say that all the ships have individual names. So that ship we were on, there's only one Saint Louisa, not two. And
That's
that
that's
was that was a time slip, I'm pretty sure. That was a time. And then I think when we went back to the shore and when the boat came in, I think the time kind of corrected its place itself so that we ended up back in the correct time frame.
because
And weirdly enough, here's another thing. As the bus was driving past the bar was closed.
I'm the same.
So, I mean, did they close the bar when we left, or because we went by and the bar was closed as if it wasn't open for ages? So, I don't know. So that was the only kind of experience of something similar to going to an alternative reality. And
And
then the thing is, I wish I could remember that story I was writing because I can't remember what I was writing. All I remember is the octopus thing, and then that's it. So I didn't even finish the story, and I'm in my head. I'm like, I'd love to know what I was actually going to write. So
you think it had anything to do with experience? Like, was it going to be about maybe a top, like something from the sea interfering with?
yeah, it was coming. It would be what I can remember. This is just little pieces, like snippets. I remember it was the same the volcano, whereas this octopus was coming out of the volcano. So it was, I guess, it was a fire. If it was a Pokemon, it'd be a fire type octopus.
Dude, that's crazy. Dragons have been on my a lot lately. Um, and because we're talking about fae, fairies, and stuff like that, very often I know they are aliens. They have no DNA like anything else. Octopi on the earth. They're quite literally
Alien.
shaped.
It's true. There's no they have it seems like what the science reckons that they traveled here
Yeah,
because
could have been.
they're quite an intelligent creature as well. I
But
mean,
thing is, we don't even same thing to dolphins or whales. We do not understand their language and how conscious they are. They could be. Did you know? Like, I don't know. It's some type of Earth frequency that literally matches a whale's frequency in the ocean. It's like God. It's amazing. They're tapped in, and just because they can't talk, who knows if they're what they're doing down there? Like, well, I'm
well,
not that. Like, I
it's
just
it's
I just picture fish
it's
or shark.
it's it's like the language of the birds.
Yeah,
Like
and
we don't understand them, but they all have a communicate. Even when they know how to migrate a specific way, it's as if they have a communication, but we can't understand them. The language of the birds is fascinating.
yeah, they have geomagnetic things, or I don't know, in their brain, or they react to the magnetic force, or yeah, of the Earth. and that's how, yeah, how they migrate, how they find their way back, and that's exactly how they do it in the ocean, in schools of fish, or like schools of dolphins, all of that stuff's insane.
It's really crazy. And then even bats are basically a majority of them are blind, but they communicate sonar. So that's how they know when they can trap find food.
Yeah, that's just crazy. And when I just got moved into the house that my parents just bought, I only lived for like a year, but two bats came in my room, and I had to get like get them out because it was like night. And then I noticed, and then my cat, she's so amazing. I don't know, she was just like playing with the other one, like not playing with it, but just like she wasn't trying to eat it, but staring at it. But everybody thought I was lying when I said there's a bat in my room. Like that shit was insane. And I took pictures of the second time, and they are the most cutest motherfuckers. They're
Yeah, they
it looked like a little demon walking in the corner. It was like I was like
yeah, they're crazy looking.
I was like, what the fuck? This is, and then I felt, you know, I, I don't even know if like they do have eyes, but like it was closed, but like its little fangs, like it was like
Oh yeah, yeah, they do have eyes, but their vision is really, really bad.
you can tell, like yeah, that they are adapted to.
But they have other ways, and they sleep. I think they're really cool. They sleep upside down, and it's just so, nature is crazy. There's so many things out there that are so interesting.
Yeah. Oh,
Mm.
let me see.
Oh,
There is one thing like this could have been more paranormal, but this is like a second experience I had after
okay,
I moved out of the one house into the second house that I ever lived in.
okay.
And this is something I never like. It was so confusing to me, and I did not have enough knowledge about anything of anything, even until recently, about more paranormal and how like densities work with that stuff. But this experience was really, really weird. I didn't know how to understand it. I'm still trying to, but very distinct. I go through episodes of sleep paralysis, and I lucid dream too as well. But sometimes I don't even know how old I probably was, but like 14 or 15 years
Mhm.
old. And I do go into meditative states, and I was like in this meditative state, and it sometimes like I'm in my room, but there's other stuff added to my room, or it's like more realities because I'm like in the astral realm. So it's really weird. But I had my like, if you were my window and you were peering in, my bed was in like right back there. And all I remember is this ball of light, and it literally looked like that when, and it kind of had a form to, not a form, but like it almost kind of looked like a, the middle was really colorful, and then it went out, and it came into my room, floated in, and it just said, "What are we?"
What? Whoa.
That's it. That's all I remember. And I woke up. I remember, and it was one of the first times I started sleeping with my door closed. Because, and maybe that's another thing. Like I slept with my mom till I was like 12 years old, for real. Like I did not like sleeping alone. I was very afraid of the dark. And it was one time I had my door closed, and I thought that was triggering the sleep paralysis moments. But yeah, literally, it came in my room, white ball of light, and it didn't say, "Who are you? What am I?" It said, "What are we?" And then learning about extraterrestrial races or entities and stuff could come in forms of balls of light, balls of plasma, you know, like and sometimes like when you see a ball, and I've learned this, like it could be a whole civilization coming in. Like literally, light is another dimension, and entities live inside. Entities can live inside of light. So what I think happened, and just like Bashar or Theo, those entities that those people channel, they do not say that they're individual. They say they're a collective. That's how they talk. So I was like, I think I might have. It was probably, I don't know. It kind of like makes me think. I hope they weren't lost. Like that breaks
It's
because I was like, I don't know. I think maybe they were lost and they were looking. And you know how people who believe in stuff like, or us with different frequency, we shine light like a bright on the map, even when we're talking paranormally. Like
that's true because I listened to another podcast. I love this podcast. It's an Australian podcast. But the guys in that, it's like they've said, once you look at the paranormal looks back, and it definitely does. Because more experiences. I haven't had alien experiences. I've had weird ghostly experiences, but never alien.
oh, all right. So wait, I can get into.
You were talking about, remember,
Oh, yeah, I know what I was talking about. I was just thinking because I wanted to get into the whole alien experience that I talked about, but there's just like a few more things. I do not condone drug use at all, but I'm honest with my audience, and I had suffered from drug addiction in the past, opiates mainly. And there was a period of my life where I literally quite told my mom I was going to try every drug. I didn't get addicted to every drug, but I pretty much did try every drug out there. So there's one experience that I do want to talk about that really freaked me out. And um, not a lot of experiences were whenever is when I'm high or something like that. And this was completely different than seeing something or like a psychedelic experience. So um, this was when I was just getting out of that work, like my drug addicted relationship of like 4 years with my ex. And unfortunately, he had started messing around with methamphetamine, which I had learned methamphetamine is, they call it devil's drug. I don't know. I will have to talk about this more because there's a lot that goes into it because people start to see stuff on it. They start to hear. It's probably one of the worst drugs. And like I'm starting to learn, it's because it breaks down so fast. Like so, my experience with I tried it, but it was not the methamphetamine because I was off of it for like a week. But my friend had Molly, and I don't know what is even scarier because Molly or ecstasy has meth in it. Pretty much the same thing, but this stuff was different. Um, and I wasn't one to stay up for amounts of time. I could go to sleep after like a day or two. I stay up anyway, but I would always sleep. So like I was not never experiencing like um visual hallucinations and stuff like that. But I had just broken up with him because he had a trip out on methamphetamine. And then I went home, a week passed, and then I did this Molly. And I was going through so much regret. Literally, this was my thought. I was just in my house for the first time around my brother, who I haven't been around for a few years. Like, I have not been able to see him grow. I miss time out with my dogs. Like, I'm really beating myself up. Like, I'm a shit ass sister. I'm a shit daughter. As I'm trying to like, process all of this and heal myself.
MDMA.
Um, I had audio hallucination, and I want people to understand how scary an audio hallucination is.
That's hearing shit.
That's hearing a voice in your head. Yes,
Oh fuck.
your voices. So what happened was, and this is what I think happened, but this is the thing because I'm learning about how the cartel can put spells over drugs, not just methamphetamine, but like so. This is crazy, but so my brother he had a friend over, and my biggest I had this like big guilt for not being there for my brother, and and shit. And I could get into that another time, but I was in my room, and then I started to overhear a conversation of him and the boy James that he has over talking about me, like, and it was in the lines of like I don't even really want my sister back in this house. Like she's such a fuck up. Like all this stuff like that was breaking my heart. Like I was like hearing it, and but like I want people to understand. I think, well, I'll get into it. So I got so upset because I like to confront. I'm really upfront about stuff, and I thought I was hearing my brother say this, and even if it was young shit that I was hearing him say, like, and I knew like I was fucking up and shit. I should have been better, but it got me so upset that I went upstairs and I started banging on his door. It was the middle of the night. Like I was pounding on the door, and my mom and my dad got out of bed, and they opened. I was trying to explain to my mom, like, I just let him talk to him today. I'm like, she's like, he's in there sleeping, Jordan. I was like, no, like, I want to talk to him. I was outside smoking. Like, this is how, like, I was like calm but upset, but it was so real to me that I heard it, and I thought I was hearing it from the window. I was like, Mom, I just heard him out there. I just want to talk to him because he can say that stuff to my face, like literally. And they're in there sleeping, bro.
It's I don't have experience with that sort of thing. I never did. That was I don't even really like alcohol and stuff like that. What I've learned is like when you take certain substances, it will damage your aura and stuff can get in. On this I really feel strong. I think when you take certain kind of any type of medication, be it prescription or non-prescription, that it weakens your aura. Now this I'm not giving medical advice. If your doctor says you've got to take something, you take it. Don't listen to me. I'm not a doctor. So, but it's just I strongly believe it does kind of weaken your aura, and then there's this lets I this is my personally I feel that it lets certain entities in, and they are what kind of cause you to do and start thinking crazy shit, and it does it really does. I've read so much stuff on it. I've listened to so many audiobooks and podcasts on it, and it really weakens the aura, the feel,
And
and then
whenever and like I said, I'm just putting stuff together. So like whenever I talk to you, especially about elementals, different things like that, I realized that it was probably not just a projection of my own mind, but like an entity telling me all the things that I didn't want to hear. Everything that I did not want to hear was telling me.
and
And
it's true because these things they feed on this. Like there's a book I read, really good book by I can't remember her name, but the book is called Sister of Darkness. And she said she's a psychic and she can see stuff that we know a lot of people can't see. And she
mm,
says when people have certain addictions, there's creatures around them. And the description of some of these creatures is like weirdly enough, octopus type creatures or strange looking crazy insect things with a kind of pipe or something that's connected to the the person who has been taking something or something like that, and it's kind of it feeds off the negative energies and stuff like that, and
trap houses, like if you know,
parasites.
yeah, parasites, and then like people talk about downtown LA is a perfect example. I just heard somebody talking about how they think that there's a spell over LA, period. Like a dark fucking spell because people are just do whatever. They don't have no morals there. It's all about money. But like if you walk down like everybody's drugged out, they're living in Hollywood. Like
Yeah.
you know what Hollywood is named after? A holly tree, which they would use to craft wands.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because
Hollywood, as in, oh,
casting, you know,
yeah,
and then you cast a shit, bro.
that's crazy.
It's crazy how they do that shit, but I don't
It
know how much
it
I have left. I
well,
don't really have.
we have a lot of we have a good bit of time left because there's no time limit on this one. But that experience that you had and that's terrifying. An actual audio
I'm telling.
hallucinate. That's frightening because it kind of reminds me of stuff like, it's like when people have, what's that illness where they have multiple personalities?
I I'm,
Schizophrenia, I think. Yeah.
it's not BPD. It's multiple. It's like split. We're talking about where
yeah, it's schizophrenia, whereas they have different kind of
And the thing
things
is,
that come true.
I'm borderline schizophrenic. Like my biological father was a crackhead, and my mom did say like that could have been a trigger for it, but I have never experienced that again. I don't know if like I just like to be honest about the drugs I was doing. I really don't think it was methamphetamine. I don't know what was in that fucking Molly, but whatever it was, like really, and it was some shit. I
Well, whatever it was, it still kind of weakened that field, and then like whereas whatever was there, and this is my, I think I feel this could be a thing, and it there's like when we have like in there's multiple we've established there's multiple universes, there's multiple times and stuff like that. There's light beings, which you talked about, which would also mean there is dark beings. They would also be not necessarily good nor bad, but like for example, a parasite isn't evil. It's not evil. It's horrible, but it's not. Its personality wouldn't be classed as evil. It's surviving, and if it can produce, if this part this psychic parasite, if it can make your life hell, and it feeds off that, and then once it does whatever it does to you, it goes to the next one, the next one. Like it's almost like the vampire mythos as well. Whereas a vampire will feed off a person, drain their blood, and go to the next, and so on and so forth. It's that's what I think. And
that's
this book, it really of all the books I've read, and that one really sticks out to me. And I really think that she was onto something. She even talked about the Cecil Hotel in I don't know where that is. Is that in LA? No, it's not in LA, is it? Where is the Cecil Hotel? I'll have to check that. I think it is, or I could be wrong because that's where's the Cecil Hotel? Listen, I know where is oh what's that really bad place where there's loads of people really drugged out. There's loads of them. Um
gone.
Los Angeles, oh my God, it is LA. Cecil
I was
Hotel
gonna
is in
say
LA.
LA, Philly.
It's LA. So the Cecil Hotel is in LA, and the lady that wrote that book, she said that hotel is a whole fucking so much death and horror has happened in that. And she says she has witnessed a huge dark shadow entity
Element.
around that. Yeah, an elemental. Exactly. And when we talked to elemental, like in the previous episode, there was that elemental who was there because it fed off the death and horror that happened in this specific place. And this Cecil Hotel, she says that there is a huge evil creature there that kind of it attracts people there to do horrible things. Like they go there, it's like a crack den, and it's crazy.
Yeah, like just uh, like I said, I was scrolling to TikTok and this girl, because I've been watching a lot of tarot videos, to spirituality stuff, but this girl literally said, and other people know this in her video, she was like, there is a spell down here, like,
Hmm.
on LA, like there's a spell that's some people can see through the spell, some people can't, some people are completely they surrender to it and then
Yeah.
off of them like a battery until so they're not near
It
them.
drains, yeah. I mean, this episode will go out like, and I don't mean to be offensive. I'm not giving medical advice, so don't take anything medically. But and my belief is that any of these kind of medications do weaken your auric field.
Mm-hmm.
And that you're saying there's a spiritual like war type thing going on now, more so than ever. Like nowadays, there's even more people. There's more medication like if you go to the doctor, oh, just take this, take this, take this. It's like just medication, 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 and it's like the people are becoming less spiritual, kind of more kind of materialistic.
Yeah, and that's one thing too I want to mention. Like, I'm very glad I've always been like this my whole life, and there's been temptations to be a sellout, sell my soul in certain times, but like I have remained like understanding that material,
Grounded.
huh?
You're grounded. You're grounded to the earth. You're staying in your place.
Yeah,
It's like when electricity was grounded electricity. If it's not grounded, it goes crazy. But if you ground your energy, that's kind of what that is. Like a hand movement. Um, but yeah, I mean, that was really those experiences are crazy. Like I've not I've had very few experiences like apart from that weird time slip and that kind of thing that happened in that haunted place. And it's just there's more to like the thing I'm trying to say is like everyone needs to be more kind of fucking positive lately because there's so much hatred out there now. It's like it's crazy. There's
that's
hatred.
what you know. What fear spreads faster. Fear spreads faster than anything, and it's the lowest vibrational frequency. So it's so easy to tap for people to match that. Like you can be at a vibration like you can, and it's harder to go up. Like to choose to go up to a very high vibration rather than being at this vibration still. Like you can dip down low into your darks easily, but it's not like you can just wake up and be have like forcing ego death, like another,
Hmm.
that
Yeah, it's like ego death is. You said you've meditated.
I kind of realized I have always kind of meditated, but now I'm starting to do it. I'm choosing to do it during the day, whenever even 20 minutes. You
That's
know,
incredible.
people think it has to be like hours and stuff, but before I go to bed, um, I always go into a trance-like state, and even now more than everything, like my dreams are getting crazy, and like I'm able to control a lot more, and I think I'm unlocking things. Like I said, like I'm having memories um, of
Hmm.
simultaneous something is coming through, and not just everyone. Like we're just talking about this because it's just me and you, but like the whole world, anybody watching this, there is most certainly a shift going on. Like
Oh yeah, there's a shit show going on, and like the sides, either side, they're doing the same thing. It doesn't matter which side you pick because it's a shit show. It's
the
like
left,
I've never seen as crazy as it is in my life before. Like there's crazy, just so much crazy shit going on, and it's like,
people don't have, they don't want to think for themselves. They want to be led so bad. I'm so confused at everybody. Listen, if y'all wanted Donald Trump in office so bad, then why did he win last time? Even though I know it's like, but then how did he win the first time? Like y'all just make no fucking sense. It's whoever they place in front of you. You will. It don't matter. It just
it doesn't matter, be it him or what, the other lady, Camille, I can't say her name, but the other, it doesn't make a difference. They're all kind of they all have their own agenda. It's not my the world watches these things, and that's political. We're not getting political. Like you choose your
oh,
sides, whatever.
but the
Be it the older guy or the younger lady, it doesn't make a difference to me.
but like also like we were talking about. I don't know if we talked about this last time. I want people to understand how one little thing could change so much. And just a few examples is Trump getting shot. If I don't know, like it could be fake, could have been set up, it could have been they planned it, and he didn't had no idea, and he just happened to, and it just worked out. But I'm telling you, if it would have been a JFK scenario, people would have seen
Yeah.
brains get fucking blown out on 4K on TV. You
And
understand?
that's what happened. 4K.
It would have been in an uproar. America would have been in an uproar over that. If it was a black man who did it, even if he did not, even if he would have missed, I'm like, they really picked another white. I think it was an MK Ultra something. But other than that, if it was a black dude, I'm just saying, or a Mexican or anybody else that wasn't white, it would have been an even bigger problem. But since it wasn't, it wasn't. But like, imagine if it was, and then the divide that would have caused. Because then, black people just start trying to like Trump. You know what I mean? And then he walks out to Many Men by 50 Cent, and then all
That's a good song.
we're twerking for votes, Megan Thee Stallion is literally
Like I'm in Ireland and the world is watching and it's just crazy shit. I mean, our people, our presidents and whatever don't come out to like 50 Cent or what was her name? What's who the one for Camilla? Camila had. What was the other rapper? What was her name? That was done Camila. Was it who was it? There was one, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know politics, and I definitely don't know America. It's just the world's. I'm speaking from Ireland, and we're seeing the world is just focusing on this one thing, but you're forgetting about the other things that are going on. Look up into the sky, space. You're ignoring that. Like, fucking turn your TV off, turn your computer off, go outside, enjoy nature.
too. If people just turned off social media even for a little bit, because every day they're on there wanting to argue about something.
Oh yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
that you don't even know is true, and then like you pride so high, like everybody embarrassed themselves within a day of just not doing proper. And also
Perfect.
media
Per-
being a sheep, you're just following along with
The
whatever.
sheep. A perfect example of a genius known as Elon Musk put a post, I won't specify the particular post, that was completely wrong about someone's DNA, and the idiot didn't check his facts. And in my head, this dude is a fucking genius, apparently. I'm like, come on, if the dude is not checking his facts before posting shit, like, he's not a genius, he's an idiot. It
I
just,
I'll just say this, bro. He's not no Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was one amazing ass man, and if he was here CEO on the day, he would be so fucking he would be disgusted in him, and it sucks. One of the first videos I remember seeing of Elon was when he was really young, and like somebody was trying to explain to him like the new scientists don't like you, and I saw him start to like he cried like he was really young too. Before he smoked weed on Joe Rogan, he was like, I'm sorry, but
uh,
like you think, oh, is he doing something different than us? Like I tried to like him, and shit like that, bro. You did nothing fucking different. You acted just like these other. Ooh, I was
he he was brought up in a house of hate. His dad was an angry, fascist, racist person. I'm gonna put that out there. He was brought up to be exactly like that. I don't know why you people worship this dude.
yeah, he.
Tesla, it's an insult that he's using that name on his shitty fucking electric cars.
And it's one of the most expensive cars. Dude, Tesla would be fucking sick. And first of all, it don't run on Tesla technology.
It doesn't run on Tesla technology. First of all, even I want to talk a little bit about electric cars in general. It's not going to make it, it's not good, it's not any better for the environment because when they get the alkaline, they're destroying parts of land to get the alkaline. It's no different than digging up oil. And
I
here's
just
another crazy thing when I'm on the oil subject. You know those idiots out there what are they called? Stop oil, vandalizing Stonehenge. Come on, you fucking idiots. What has Stonehenge got to do with oil, you stupid people? And they tweeted recently, and I'm gonna call it Twitter because I don't want to call it X. They tweeted recently, oh, all these people got arrested that were on Stop Oil. And I was like, good, I'm very happy they got arrested. They're vandalizing. First of all, Stonehenge is a sacred site, as I am a pagan, which that is insulting. You do not throw orange fucking shit all over that, and it's that stain is still there. It's not coming off. And then you're vandalizing these really beautiful pieces of art. Again, art has nothing to do with your stupid stop oil. So this is for you guys, and this is for the other ones.
it's like idiocracy. Like
It is.
it, it's like what's an incel? But I'm not gonna I know it's usually a male who hates, but these people hate each other. I mean, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Because people understand what I'm saying. I don't have to fucking sugarcoat it. You know what I'm saying by it's gay, transgender has always been around. Always. It, we are animals, period.
Mm.
And there's animals in the animal kingdom that have sex with males if they want to, or females. Like it don't so that's what we
Leave
do.
them to it.
We never needed no more like you guys we wanted um like equality and just peace, and they made it into this fucking rat race, and oh my god, just shooting people up, fucking up their hormones, and nobody knows what they're fucking talking about because they don't even know what fucking gender they are. Like that, love. It's just, I feel like it is a very bad agenda, and people do. If you are struggling with your identity, please do some research in past lives. If you feel so much that you are supposed to be the opposite gender, or if you're supposed to be a furry in the wild, it was probably because you were once in a past life. Uh,
That's an interesting concept because yeah, maybe they was like I personally I don't care. Like do your thing, don't hurt anyone. That's great, no problem.
it's been happening. The reason they care so much is because people, hi, I'm Jordan, and then somebody else. My pronouns are. I'm automatically gonna be like, bro, what? Like I wasn't even trying to get into this. Nothing about no pro. Like it's like it's a whole identity they made it, and they'll do anything like vandalizing fucking. My God, you're cursed. Oh no, it's such a curse on a lineage. I don't even know, bro. But that's crazy. I
Past
would.
lives, yeah. I mean, there's so much crazy, but like I say, just everyone needs to be more positive and stop believing the bullshit. Like, and definitely
And
don't
ground.
believe everything Elon Musk says because he's not as smart as people think he is.
Oh yeah, not only him, just media. Period. He literally bought over a very high platform.
Mm.
Like yeah, he bought over a platform. He's a cult leader. I don't see it any other differently. People who do not like Elon really didn't choose to stay over there. They left. Like how you're choosing to leave now, and how I like stopped getting on there. I used to love Twitter, but now I get on there. It's nothing but propaganda. Elon contradicting everything he's ever fucking said, or just trying to quite literally, he's a cocksucker. He uh, sucks everyone off, like, and whatever. He has a platform to do that. He got the money, but I'm telling you, and
That's
take just not just bro.
YouTube. Don't. This is just entertainment. This is all for entertainment purposes. We're not meaning any offensive things because there's rules and blah 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 blah. But yeah, we're stating our facts here. Like, stop oil. Don't be destroying nice art. Just don't. Just don't. Don't,
Don't
don't listen to Elon and his bullshit.
do your research. Don't do when you don't know.
Do what you will as long as you don't hurt anyone. That's what I would like to say, which brings me to a great man. I'm only joking, he's not a great man. Aleister Crowley.
He's
Aleister Crowley said, "Do what thou wilt is the whole of the law. Do what you will as long as you don't hurt anyone." But that's supposed to be what it's about. But Aleister, like Elon, at the start, well, no, I don't think Elon ever meant it as good, but Aleister Crowley at the start meant to be do something good to rebel against the
I
powers that be.
I feel his he's been coming through a lot, like through other people when I watch him, like his name, we've been talking about a lot. I feel his spirit, just because he was bad and he did shit fucked up here, his spirit is good. Like you have higher selves, you know what I mean?
This is brings me to the Akashic Records because he in his head he did have his ideas were would have been good if he didn't abuse it. And I think when he passed, you go to the next life, which will bring you to the Akashic Records. And then what I've learned or what I've heard is that there's a learning curve. I know we switched subjects from stop oil. I've said our piece about them and whatever. But I just wanted to bring out Alistair Crowley because I mentioned something of his, which was do what thou wilt, it's the whole of the law. That's what his religion was about. But at the start, Alistair Crowley was just rebelling against the powers that be, which was at that stage was the Catholic Church, which had so much power, and they're no clean. They're not clean at all by all any means. They were horrible thing. They've done horrible things in the past. I'm not. That's again another subject we can talk about. But Alistair at the start had good intent.
He did it in front of everybody. He said,
He did shit in front of everyone to make a statement, and he could have done good, but unfortunately, Alistair would do rituals. He would open up portals, which we were talking about earlier, and then he'd just get bored and like wouldn't bother closing them and leave them open. And he just kind of got lazy and laxy. Now maybe in the next life he's trying to redeem himself and is coming through.
yeah, trying to, yeah, like I said, he's been coming through, and I think that's something. I mean, his tarot deck.
Is
I
a
want to
good
get it,
deck.
huh?
It's a good deck. I have it, but I can't remember where it is. It's a really nice deck. It's a little bit complicated to understand because he uses weird wording and stuff like that, and even the book is a bit more complicated to understand. But the artwork is
Like,
incredible.
was the artist like a few different people and like a lot of different things went into making that, but he was solely like, I want to make. But yeah, I want to get that deck too.
It is a nice deck. If I ever find it, I'm not sure where it is, but it is a really nice deck, and it would be a good deck to get to understand. And the artwork is incredible. Like the imaging is beautiful. The coloring is incredible. Like it's a very
Yeah,
very nice deck.
I'm obsessed with tarot decks. The infinite stories that we told.
Hmm.
Is really-
I
Oh,
mean, card decks are great, and there's some really good decks out there. And I've even kind of got a few. My favorite is the Black Moon Lilith one. And
hmm.
which is really cool. But there is other decks that I really like as well. And if I ever find my Aleister Crowley deck, it would be great, but I don't know where that is.
I have so many. Like, done them. I went on a freaking tear last.
But I think our podcast, this episode was a very interesting one. I'm hoping YouTube won't get a bit like we did. We didn't. First of all, we're not political. We're not making political statements, and there's nothing political in this. It's just what we're saying is what people are pretty much thinking anyway. It's
Yeah,
just some
it's
people
all for
don't have.
just like they do it for entertainment purposes.
Hmm.
I I heard people say bad words. You know, nothing
Hmm. But
about
like,
what we're saying.
do what you want and don't hurt anyone, and try to be more positive and less of the bullshit. And on that note, I think we'll call this one a night. It was a nice episode and a bit of everything in there. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So I just want to say thanks to anyone that's tuning in and comment, like, subscribe wherever it's down around somewhere there, maybe. I don't know. It's somewhere on the screen. It's up there or down there or somewhere. And thank you. And from me, yeah, exactly. From me and Matt and Tribe, we wish you all the best and stay positive.
Peace among worlds.